All right, this is public access Lost Transmissions, what we believe is part 22, but maybe it will be different on the YouTube title card. So we are back with our latchkeys, two of our latchkeys at least today, Taylor and Amber, who are, last time we saw them, they were headed to Whitespray, New Mexico, in order to keep investigating the dream. In particular, there's a couple of things in Whitespray. There is the owner of La Fresca Foods, his home is in Whitespray, and then also we believe that the new La Fresca Foods factory where the dream is being produced is in Whitespray. I suspect that this mystery is going to be the focus for today, and so I'm just going to recap that one. We do have two other active mysteries right now. So with the dream, we have this ice cream substance which clearly has the ability to control people's minds. We have seen this. That's one of your clues. It has the ability to take people over. At a low level, it has the ability to just make you obsess about eating the dream, right? You had another clue here for this as well, which is a newspaper story about a reporter who is researching the inventor of the dream, W. Atlas Morgenstern. The reporter actually apparently killed himself before the story was published, though you should infer that there was something suspicious about that suicide, right? We have two questions here. You can try to determine the true nature of the dream in order to neutralize its power, or you can try to convince W. Atlas Morgenstern to take the dream off the market by learning what terrible secret caused W. Atlas Morgenstern to abandon the business back in the 70s. Because remember, this is a reconstituted business. It started back in the 70s when the dream was just regular ice cream. And some scandal forced him to close down, and now he's back with this new product. So that's sort of what's going on there. You do have your key available there, the key of pure imagination. And taking a look at the latchkeys, Taylor is marked by the dream, so that's important to point out. So is Amber. So this should be a lot of fun as you head straight into Dream HQ. I think that's going to be really interesting. Now, I don't remember precisely what was happening the last time we saw these latchkeys because it's been ages since we played this part of the game. But so if you're watching the video, it might be a little inconsistent with what happened previously. Just bear with us. I'm going to say that we are still in a day phase, and the two of you, along with actress Geraldine Ambrose, are traveling to Whitespray, and you are arriving in Whitespray, New Mexico, which is a little town about it's about 30 or 40 minutes north of Deep Lake. So that's a quick and dirty recap. Just keeping an eye on the broader campaign. You have watched 7 Odyssey tapes, and if you watch an 8th one, that will trigger the next big part of the campaign. And you do have one to watch right now, so if you decide to do that at night phase, you certainly can. Do either of you have any questions or anything you want to be reminded of before we begin?
Do you
All right,
remember
then.
how we got marked by the dream? I kind of don't remember.
There was it was a couple of different ways. At least one of you ate it. I remember that.
Hmm.
And I also, if one thing that's not accounted for in the clues in particular, but is worth pointing out, is that you all snuck around behind the grocery store and you saw some dream infected workers unloading the dream,
Right.
and they like marked you, right? Like they realize that you're trouble, right? You managed to
Hmm.
escape that
All
situation,
right, yeah.
but that's kind of so one way or the other, the dream has got its claws in you. I think there's a condition that's specifically related to eating the dream, actually. I'll look for that right now.
Living the dream,
Didn't
maybe?
Zach eat it?
I think it might have been non-existent character Zach. Um, yeah, it's called Live the Dream. So okay, so neither of you actually have that. This is just the dream entity being aware of you. So
Sure.
all right then. Okay, good. So why don't we dive right in with our day phase, the remainder of our day phase.
Perfect.
And let's talk about Whitespray, Colorado. We might have, or not Colorado, New Mexico. We might have done this last time, but we'll do it again. When you arrive in Whitespray, you see that It's a very small town. I mean, Deep Lake is a small town. This is like practically blink and you'll miss it, right? Probably fewer than a few hundred people live here. It's just a single small street with a few boarded up storefronts. There's a bit of litter blowing on the wind through the street. There are actually some coyotes, a pack of coyotes crossing the road. This place is so deserted that the coyotes just walk around like they don't care, you know. I do want to paint the scene though. Many years ago, during the golden age of Hollywood, Whitespray was actually a resort town for the rich and famous. They used to come here to, have spa days and relax or whatever. That's all gone, but you can still see some very faint traces of that more glamorous time. What do you see?
They haven't replaced the billboards advertising the spas and the luxurious hotels and everything. I mean, they're faded by now, but they're still there.
I imagine they have a sort of like Art Deco style or, some sort of like impressionist style or something too. Like they look very vintage, right? Yeah.
I think this, I mean, it's a tiny town, but there's one area, maybe near Main Street, where on the Broadwalk, there's like panels where famous people have put their fingers and handprints in cement and signed it.
Nice. So you see these boarded up storefronts. You see, there's no sign of the factory, but you will see in the distance, kind of up on a hill, kind of peeking out from some thick tree cover, you'll see a large concrete and glass modernist dwelling, which must be where W. Atlas Morgenstern lives, because there's kind of nothing else in this town, right? You'll also notice that there's an old woman wearing a kind of like a flannel shirt and jeans and boots, and she is sitting out front of a tobacco. Oh yeah, out front of a tobacco shop. That was pure coincidence. Sitting out front of a tobacco shop with her dog. The tobacco shop actually looks open, so that's at least one business that's operating. I think Geraldine sees this as she's kind of looking out, and you're in the bus with her, right, Taylor? And Geraldine goes, "Wow, not much to see here, huh?"
I mean, there is a tobacco store. Do you smoke?
She gets very quiet, and her little helper, I gotta find his name. What's that guy's name? Stuart. Stuart. When you ask that question, Stuart like gives like a impatient sigh, like, and then like turns away, like he doesn't want to even like hear anything. And Geraldine says, "I do like to sneak an occasional cigarette after a long day of shooting or a long night of you know what. But we're not going to talk about that though. It gets Stuart very upset."
I understand, or maybe I don't, but whatever your relationship is,
Hey, can I tell you something?
please do.
Well, I don't know how you're going to take this, but this whole thing, I came to this. Where are we at, Stuart? Arizona? New Mexico. New Mexico. I came to New Mexico. I took this job because, frankly, things are not looking so
You need
great
the
right
money?
now, career-wise. I wouldn't put it that way, but I didn't think it was going to really be anything exciting or interesting or worth remembering. But I actually find this whole weird investigation thing really fascinating. And I really, really hope that whenever you guys finish your TV show, if you want a couple of like testimonials from me, or we can definitely work that out at a discounted rate, I'm sure.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. Thank you. Maybe you could guest star at some point.
Oh, that'd be great. Oh, I'm a really great guest star. You know, some guest stars
Oh, I believe it.
they are, you know, they're just there to collect a check. But me, like, I bring the checks, so to speak. I still have, you know, I can still get some eyeballs on things. So yeah, we should definitely do that. That'd be great.
I believe it. I just won't correct her on the idea that we are shooting a TV
Everyone
show
thinks
and
you're
not
making a TV
watching
show.
one.
Yeah, yeah.
But
She says,
that's just
she also
funny.
says, so I guess all the camera and sound equipment is in her car, in the hearse.
Yeah. Mhm. And
Oh,
also
okay.
we're kind of still in the research phase, you know.
Oh, got it. Okay, cool. Yeah, that makes sense. I get that. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, let's cut over to
Wouldn't
Amber.
want
Amber,
to
what are you
lug
doing right
everything
now?
around
Yeah,
before
exactly.
knowing what's going. So
I think I'll approach the tobacco shop.
Yeah, we can park. And the old woman's sitting in front of the tobacco shop. You know, you can see now her boots are quite weathered. Her jeans are very weathered. Her face is weathered. Her gray hair is kind of pulled back in a ponytail. She's got this flannel. It's actually open though, and underneath the flannel, she's wearing a Public Enemy T-shirt, which is kind of strange. And you can see that the tobacco shop is called the Smoking Pole. And she sees you, and she seems almost surprised. You know, she's like, "Do you? Hey, hi.
Hi there.
Do you need a cigarette?"
I mean, I don't smoke. Do you sell other stuff too?
Oh yeah, sure. We've got a we've got a cooler with you know, cokes and stuff.
Great.
And she kind of gets up and she says, "Come on, Dog." And her dog, who is called Dog, a black Australian shepherd, and she's wearing a little handkerchief that says "a very good girl" on it. And she leads the dog back into the store. Do you follow?
I do.
Yeah. Geraldine will have the bus stop as well. Taylor, what do you do?
sorry, I
No worries.
accidentally shoved my mouse away. Um, well, I watch this interaction
Yeah.
and think to myself and wonder if Amber is again trying to make a friend of the local smoke shop owner, as she's prone to.
Yeah, yeah. You know, a little May December romance never hurt anybody, right?
Yeah.
I will say that there's you'll notice, Taylor, that there's also there are some other old timers, I would say. That seems to be the only kind of people left in this town.
Mm.
You'll kind of see them kind of chatting and talking, and they're also kind of converging on the smoking pole. Again, it seems like the only place in town to go. Amber, as you go into the smoking pole, you'll kind of see you're kind of followed by these older people. You step inside, you have this earthy, leafy tang of hand-rolled cigars, cigarillos, cigarettes. There's actually a pool table and a jukebox in one corner, and a couple of the old timers, rack the balls and start playing a game, and one of them goes to put quarters in the jukebox. Let's paint the scene. How else can we tell that the smoking pole is not really a viable business? It's more just a hangout spot for old folks and locals.
The register doesn't work. it's permanently open, and the cash is just kind of hanging out of it,
Yeah.
and there's coins everywhere, and no one really cares. And if someone wants something, they just throw whatever into the cash
I love
register
it. It's perfect.
or
Yeah.
next to it.
They just grab a cigar and toss money in. Yeah, it's good.
I like that. Um, I picture there isn't anything similar to a diner as such in town. So basically, what happens? People bring food and share it there. So we've got a table similar like a potluck situation.
Well, I'm curious, what are you doing, Amber?
I ask whether I can pet the dog.
And the woman who introduces herself as Thomasina, she says, yeah, yeah, go ahead. Dioge's sweet as pie. And she is. The dog is really nice. While you're doing
Uh,
that, I think Thomasina she'll kind of take up her spot behind the counter, and she'll say, we don't get many people coming through here. What are you and your friends? Kind of looks out at the bus. What's your business here? If you don't mind my asking.
oh, not at all. We're curious about Whitespray's history,
Oh,
in particular regarding the Morgenstern family.
and she gets visibly sour-faced when you mention the name Morgenstern. I will nevertheless let you roll the meddling move with, I would say, with presence.
Does any of my conditions affect that?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, let's see. Do we have any helpful?
Which is actually good because it means they're probably not possessed by the dream, right?
Yeah. All right. So what's my modifier? A 6,
A 6. Oh no.
unfortunately.
I think you're asking her about Morgenstern, and she's clearly like kind of clammed up. They all have. They've all gotten a little like, you know, you hear like the knock of a pool ball and then like just quiet after that. Um, the jukebox even like goes down in volume, like the song gets quieter, conveniently right at that moment, right? And they're kind of clamming up a little bit. And maybe as you're kind of like walking around, maybe talking to her out loud as you kind of walk around the store, you'll notice some pictures of the old days. You'll see photographs of starlets and actors, from back in the day. You'll see a picture of Whitespray when it was much more, when it was much more of, alive, like the businesses, the facades are shiny and new. All the photographs are black and white. And you'll see one photograph of a group of people standing around the big man in the photograph. You can walk in at this time, Taylor.
Oh yeah. I walk into the store, look around, and take in the tense atmosphere.
Yeah, it's very like.
Uh, Good afternoon.
Thomasina says, listen, you two, no offense, but we just really don't take well to outsiders around here. The last outsider who came to Whitespray, that rattlesnake Morgenstern, has caused us nothing but trouble. So, apologies if we seem a little standoffish.
Oh, we don't plan on staying, so no worries about that.
Right, right.
We don't
And
intend to move here and open some weird business.
and I think at that point, this is maybe like to add to your complication of your missed roll, Amber.
Uh-huh.
Geraldine comes in behind Taylor, and Geraldine comes in and she's like, OMG. Actually, I don't even know if that would have been a thing in 2004. Oh my God. Oh, that smell. And she like walks up and she like grabs like a handful of cigars out of a bin and she just goes, oh, I'm sorry. Stuart doesn't let me have these. Oh my God. Oh my goodness. Look at this place. This is so cute. It's like I've stepped back in time. And she kind of steps
You
up to a
know,
table of little old people, and she's like, "Look at the two of you. You're so cute and elderly." And
Geraldine, you smell him, you buy him.
she's like, "Oh, yeah, no problem. Yeah, no problem, babe. No problem. Just, give me one of everything." And Thomasina, like the whole situation is a little like kind of weird and
Mm-hmm.
awkward at this point. Amber, what do you do?
Um, I say to um, Taylor, come over here, have a look at this. And I show them the picture of the big man.
Is Thomasina on the picture? In the picture?
If she is, she would have been a lot younger, so she might not be easy to pick out.
Hmm.
But it's possible, yeah.
Mm. And
He looks the
we
same, by the
saw,
way. He doesn't look any
yeah, of
different at
course he
all.
does.
Yeah.
Um,
Hmm.
we know what Mr. Morgenstern looks like from the newspaper
You
clipping?
do know what he looks like, and he is definitely not in the picture.
Mm.
He's not in the picture. Okay. Uh, hey, ma'am, are you a friend of this guy?
Make the
Because
meddling move again with composure.
not again. I
Or,
I'm
well,
gonna fumble.
as a group, again.
Yeah,
Again with
Uh,
Thomasina. Yeah.
8.
Okay. While you're having this conversation, you hear Geraldine. I just love old people. Old people are just so, you know, they just remind you of a simpler time. Everything's just so crazy now. But I'm sure like back in your day, it was all just, apple pie and Sunday dance and all those sorts of things. I mean, it's just so.
Oh, was that Stuart? I think Stuart is calling you, Geraldine.
She's like, oh my God, Stuart can't see me in here. And she like throws some money on the counter and grabs a couple cartons of cigarettes and shoves them in her bag and is kind of like goes up to the front to look out the window to see if Stuart's coming. Thomasina has approached the two of you at this point.
We're not with her, by the way. She's just our ride.
She's like, who is she?
An actress, I think.
Ugh. Well, it's been a long, long time since Hollywood's come calling on us. And then
I
she kind of
wouldn't
looks at that picture.
exactly say Hollywood.
Yeah. She looks at that picture and she says, yeah, that was a different time back then. That's me right there. She points out to a young, well, rather striking woman, still wearing jeans and a motorcycle jacket.
Wow, you have aged well, I must
She,
say.
she's like, oh, don't try to flatter me. I don't mind the aging process. I mean, I've seen a lot of shit, you know? And sometimes you wear that and there's not a lot you can do about it. Mm,
But I think that's what makes it interesting, what makes a person interesting.
yeah, I suppose so. She kind of like, she says, so that gentleman, he, showed up in town. I remember. We weren't really sure who he was. He was really, really interested in. He was interested in a sort of geological event that had kind of taken place around that time in this area. You see, we had a little crater. Something fell from the sky, tore up the earth, and it was a big deal for a while. The government came in, of course, and eventually gave us the clear that everything was okay, that we weren't all going to die of space radiation or anything like that.
Mm.
But that fella, he was very, very interested in that crater. And,
Did he come with the authorities?
now that I think about it, I'm not sure. But he was a funny cat. He used to speak in riddles. Like you'd ask him a question and he could never give you a straight answer.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Your clue, though, is this existence of a crater somewhere. That's your clue for the dream.
And do you know what fell down?
Well, that's the funny thing. The fellows from the government came in and they kind of cleaned up the area. They just left the hole. We don't know what it was that made it.
Is the hole
That's
still
kind of
there?
creepy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the hole's still there. You can't miss it. It's, well, it's near where Morgenstern built his new factory, in fact.
Oh, interesting. And he's not from here originally, you say?
W. Atlas Morgenstern. That man. Ugh. I don't like to speak ill of people.
Oh,
And I
you
try
do.
to modulate my words. I try to be diplomatic. But that man is the devil. Period. That's all I'm going to
Period.
say on
Okay.
that. You can ask anyone here. And she kind of points to the others.
Yeah, I
Everyone
look
knows
at the
it.
others.
She's like,
Yeah?
sorry, I'm being rude. Let me introduce you to everyone. She kind of goes
No,
through
that's
and
just fine.
names them all. She's like, that's Billy Boy. That's Sarasota. That's Cujo. That's Doc Martin. That's Tits, Papa Joe, and Crybaby. They're all like, wave their hands.
Hi, I'm Taylor. This is Amber.
Oh, yeah.
And so, what should we be aware of if we want to talk to this guy? Like, is he gonna chop us up or?
No, no, no. I expect you'll be able to march right up to his house and talk to him if you want. The man is a complete narcissist. I mean,
Oh, I
he
know a couple of those.
he will talk your ear off if you let him. I mean, he loves to tell you about all of his grand plans and how great he is and how he was robbed back in the 70s and on and on and on.
Mhm. But isn't it like, doesn't his business help the town?
Well, I am not personally a proponent of trickle down economics. And even if I was, not much has trickled down up to this point. I mean, look around.
Okay, I see. Yeah, definitely looks like it. Maybe, no, you wouldn't sell Dream here, would you?
And she kind of like gives a little chuckle and she says, I haven't tried the new stuff yet. I
Yeah,
don't
you
suspect I
shouldn't.
will.
You probably shouldn't. I've
So what are
seen
the two
people
of
who
you here
tried it
for?
and they are like, yeah, well, Amber, feel free to explain.
I think Ember was distracted by the dog, petting it again. What did you say? Sorry.
Geraldine is still at the front looking out the window and she turns back and says, they're making a TV show. An investigative documentary, I think. And Thomasina goes,
Something like
oh,
that.
got it. So is it a TV documentary, like a proper documentary, or is it a podcast?
It's a proper documentary
Right. I
and
don't.
maybe some investigative journalism.
Have you heard of podcasts? You know what that is? Like radio without radio.
No.
Where would you hear that?
Ah, my grandmother or my granddaughter rather. My granddaughter gave me one of those
Your
iPods.
grandmother.
My
Oh,
granddaughter gave me
okay,
one of
yeah.
those iPods, and she loaded it up with all these news programs, podcasts.
But if she loads it up and you listen to it later, is it still news?
That's very profound, Taylor. Well, if you need me to sign some kind of disclosure form, I'm happy to.
Thank you. I think that's fine for now. Just maybe we'll drop by again after visiting the creepy guy, the weird guy, the narcissist person.
I'd love to hear your stories.
Yeah, I'm sure we can. We'll have some to tell.
Indeed. I think at this point,
And yeah,
Geraldine will go back out to the bus.
Mm.
and I'll just grab a Coke and
Yeah.
just drop some money into
Throw
the
75 cents
register.
on the thing. Yeah. Good. Let's take a 5-minute break.
All right.
So, are you heading up to Morgenstern's mansion?
Of course, we are.
Yeah.
I think by the
Let's
time.
see. Sorry.
Oh, no, go
Let's see
ahead.
if we can see the crater as
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
if it's nearby.
I don't think the crater's nearby his house, but there's
Oh,
only kind of one road to take, and so probably you'll eventually get there. But you can stop
mm,
first at his house. Geraldine is not going to drive the bus up there, so if you just want to take the hearse, you can. She's probably going to hang back.
mhm. Yeah,
Yeah, let's
let's
do
take the
that.
hearse. Amber, what do you make of the picture of the big man? Should we
Well,
try to get in touch with him?
I mean, haven't seen him in a while. Maybe this is not the worst place to seek him out. Yeah.
Yeah.
But how would you
Mm,
get in touch with him?
yeah, that's a good question. He somehow kind of always showed up when he wanted before. Let me. Hmm.
So I will tell you that
So
typically at
I
this
yeah,
can
point,
actually with the Wandering Monolith.
yeah. If you have the Wonder
yeah,
Runnels, you can
yeah.
definitely seek him out. Right now, the big man is um,
Indisposed.
he can only be found in remote and isolated places.
Mm.
So he might be at the crater if you were to go seek there. Um, the last time we saw the big man, I think in the game, he was like decomposing essentially,
Mm-hmm.
like he was kind of falling apart, right? And so, yeah, I mean, I think that like it wouldn't be um, completely off base to go try to find him in the crater. I think that makes sense. Um,
And I would like to just check my magic 8 ball
yeah.
and ask it how to contact the big man because it's been oh so helpful.
No, I think that's good. I think you can ask it, can he be found at the crater? And the Magic 8 Ball will
Hmm.
probably say,
Outlook hazy.
yeah, exactly, yeah. That's not a yes or a no. Morgenstern's mansion is, let's talk about it. It's essentially a glass and concrete box on a hill overlooking Whitespray. You can see inside you know, inside the glass directly into the house, even outside from the outside, and even with the light getting fairly low. You can see that inside it's all mid-century modern furniture combined with sort of Santa Fe decor. It's very well lit on the inside, quite spacious. There's a paint the
What's
scene here
that?
once you get
What's
inside.
what's Santa Fe decor?
Oh, it's like well, it's like my shirt, actually. Like
Okay.
yeah, kind of Southwest,
Okay. Kind of
kind of
cute.
Native American inspired kind of, look. So
I like the shirt.
thank you. And so yeah, we'll talk more about the mansion if you go inside, if you manage to get inside. But for now, I think you're just kind of approaching in the car. What do you do?
Did you
And
want to do a paint the scene before I interrupted you?
not yet, no, not until you
Okay.
get
Okay.
inside. Yeah.
Well, I would like to. Is there a garden as well, or is it just a house?
Not really. There's a in the front of the house, it's not grass, but it's like it's called xeriscaped. It's like a xeriscaped like front part of the
Mm-hmm.
property where it's just like sand and rocks, like
Ah,
artfully
Okay.
arranged,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
yeah.
Maybe a cactus or two, right?
Okay. Any cars?
Nope.
Okay. Well, I'd like to walk around the house once,
Mm.
just to see if we can look inside from everywhere.
Are you trying to be unseen or are you just walking around casually?
Nah, just walking around casual.
Do a meddling move with reason.
Mhm. Ooh, 10.
Nice. What are you doing, Amber?
You know, I think Taylor can handle that guy, so I dropped him off and
And keep going.
Why, thank
yeah,
you,
looking for the
Amber.
crater.
So you just keep heading up the road.
Yeah,
Fantastic. I love it.
so he'll be fine.
We'll check in with
Yay.
you in a moment.
Mhm.
Taylor, let me give you a clue. Mm. I think as you are looking around the property, you actually see that the house, I'm trying to think how I want to put this. Give me another moment. As you're walking around the house, we have this moment where in the distance, in the backyard or the rear of the property, you actually see a man who must be Morgenstern. He's very tall and gaunt, and he's wearing a black suit, and he lopes out from the house and he goes to this shed, this large kind of shed that's on the property. He goes inside that shed and you hear sounds coming out of the shed, sounds of like machinery, sounds of whirring saw blades, like he's doing a woodworking project, but also sounds of like electricity crackling. And you hear him cry out, "Yes, yes, that's it. We are on the verge of a breakthrough. I can feel it." And your clue is Morgenstern is engaging in some kind of experiment.
Well, am I tied after a tree, behind a tree after all?
Indeed, indeed. You can watch this long enough for him to leave the shed. He locks it back up, and then he goes back to the house. And at this point, the sun is getting pretty low, but we're going to check in with Amber. Amber, the next stop on this path as you go higher and higher up the mountain is what appears to be a chain link fence. The chain link fence has a big sign warning trespassers to stay away, but you can see beyond the fence there is what appears to be the factory where they're making the dream. You see
Mm.
some workers walking back and forth. You see the building. It's clearly some sort of industrial building. What do you do?
I park somewhere that's not can't be easily spotted.
Mhm.
And I look if you know, there's a way to get in. Maybe I have to climb the fence.
Yeah, you can walk around the perimeter so that you're not like near the front entrance part of it, I
Hmm.
guess. Make the meddling move with composure.
Let's see. Does Marked by the Dream
I think Mark by the
affect
Dream
me?
applies here. Yeah, yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, don't think any item will help here. Oops.
I
And
can lend you some items.
so that's actually an 8.
Okay. I'll give you a clue in addition to telling you that there is what appears to be a gap in the fence in a kind of remote corner of the property.
Hmm.
The fence has been like kind of torn open. And the problem, though, the complication is there's someone else who intends to use that gap in the fence to sneak inside,
Mm.
and they're going to see you.
Well, maybe we can team up.
Maybe, maybe. We'll pick up with that in a bit.
Hmm.
Um,
Hey, are you also looking for the big man, random person?
exactly. Let me check in with Taylor. Taylor, so you're watching this, listening for a time. You see
Hmm.
Morgenstern go back in. What do you do? Actually,
Um,
did I give you a clue? Yeah. Oh, the clue's the experiment. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. Hmm. So, do I see him? Do I see where he's going inside the house from
It looks
outside?
like he's going in and he's like, I mean, it's all glass, so you can see right inside
Yeah,
and it's
that's
well
what.
lit.
Yeah.
So he goes in and he's like making himself a drink.
Okay. I would like to wait for him to go to the opposite side of the house
Uh,
and then break into the shed, of course.
oh, very good. That is going to
That
be
sounds.
we're still just barely in the day move. What do you
Yeah.
afraid is going to happen if you fail?
Well, I'm afraid that he's gonna discover me and, of course, throw me off his property
Indeed.
and not talk to me.
How are you going to break in? Because it's locked with a padlock.
Yes. I have a crazy multi-tool that weighs a ton,
Oh, nice, good, fantastic.
and I would like to use that. And it's got like knives and
Yeah, that's great.
stuff.
That if that's something you can mark, you can take it with advantage. It's going to be
Yeah,
with.
it's that's what
I
I was
I think it's probably
planning
still
on
going to
doing.
be. That's probably vitality, I guess. Maybe it doesn't really
Yeah,
matter
that's
too much
fine.
because all your scores are the
Yeah.
same. But yeah,
Yep. I will try that. 11.
nice. You managed to use your little tool to kind of jimmy the lock, pop it open, and when you slip inside, when you slip inside, you so what do you have some thoughts on what you see?
Is it dark? Is there a
It is.
light switch?
It is, and you can flip on. There's a little like yeah, a little switch. Yeah, yeah, we'll say a light switch that kind of pops it on, and these sort of white fluorescent lights kind of crackle to life, and you see four people strapped to stainless steel tables, and they all turn their heads to look at you in unison, and they have little white dribbles coming out of their tear ducts.
That's not what I expected at all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
what do you do?
Um, do they are they trying to speak? Well, I put my finger to my mouth. Like this.
They don't say anything. They're just kind of like tied to these tables. You can see all around what appears to be various like machinery and test equipment. He's clearly running some kind of experiments on these people, or he's trying to figure out what their deal is, right?
Are they young, old,
Different ages,
different ages?
different ages, assorted genders. Amber, we have in
What?
this campaign. I'm trying to think who we've met so far. I don't think we've met either Flo Jackson or Chucho Churros, have we?
I think that's correct.
Okay. So we're going to talk about the woman who you encounter. You encounter first because you hear the distinct cock of the hammer of a pistol, of a gun aimed behind you. She says, "Now be really, really cool, okay? If you're cool, then we're cool. But if you're not cool, then the situation is going to turn into something much more complicated. And our ongoing relationship will be something you will not enjoy and will be quite short. Do you understand me?"
I do.
My name is Florida Flo Jackson. My friends call me Flo because I like to go with the flow. Do you like to go with the flow?
It feels like the correct answer is yes.
That's a very good answer, young lady. Now tell me, since we're going with the flow here, what are you about to do, sneaking into this place like that?
I
I want the day move. What are you afraid is going to happen if you lose your
yeah.
nerve?
Perfect. I think um if I lose my nerve, she'll knock me out.
Okay, go ahead and roll with composure. Your conditions don't apply.
All right. Uh, that's a 9.
I'll tell you how you're vulnerable. If you're the way you're going to be vulnerable in this scene, if you continue, is you are going to have to explain in great detail what your purpose is here.
Hmm. 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 And if I bump it up,
If you bump it up, you can maintain your air of secrecy.
yeah.
Either way, there's no immediate danger. It's just a matter of like what the
All right.
terms of your relationship are going to be.
I think, yeah, I'll keep that mixed success.
So I put the question to you, what are you doing here?
Well, we are investigating the dream.
Oh, well, then we might be in somewhat common cause, I suspect, because I am also here investigating the dream.
Oh, we can compare notes, you know?
Indeed, I love the free flow of information. That's why they call me Flo. So, what have you learned about the dream so far? You still haven't looked at this woman. She's just got
Yeah,
her gun
I
behind you.
suppose I'm still
Yeah,
not looking
yeah.
at her. Um, but I'm keeping my cool, and it seems to have power over people if they consume too much of it.
Interesting. Interesting. And are you a vengeful friend or family member of someone who was negatively affected by this frozen confectionery?
Well, to be honest, I'm just spending the summer here, passing the time. So does this seem kind of cool to do?
Ah, a little bit of amateur investigative journalism then.
Yeah, but at this point, I've got so much experience. I'd say maybe a step above amateur.
I see. Is that your hearse?
It is.
Very inconspicuously parked behind some hedges.
Um, do you mind not pointing
Right,
the gun
got
anymore
it.
at me?
You can turn around now, and you'll see that let me describe her. She has a short, stylish afro. She's wearing a sort of a all black, sort of Pulp Fiction style men's suit. Very sensible shoes, and even though it's like getting to be quite dark, she still has sunglasses on.
Mm.
She says, "Right, we might be able to be of some use to each other. I'm here doing a little bit of corporate espionage. My employers learned about this fantastic new ice cream product and they sent me out here to go take a look, see what I can learn before it hits the market. And I have to
Mm.
say, I've seen some pretty strange shit in my short time in Degoya County. I suspect I've seen some of the strange things you've seen."
Yeah, and apparently something went down here um, several years ago and left a crater. So it might be interesting to have a look.
And you think that crater is nearby?
Oh, I'm pretty sure it's behind that fence.
Well, I was intending on sneaking into the factory, taking a look around under the cover of darkness, and it is just about darkness. We can tag along, stick together for now, and go our separate ways. You can go find your crater.
Do you have a spare gun for me?
I do not have a spare gun for you,
All right.
but I'm a good enough shot for two, don't you worry.
Yeah, I can't shoot anyway.
As you're going through the fence quietly, she's like, "So what are you, like one of those goth girls?
Yeah, how do you know?
Those emo chicks?"
Yeah, that's exactly.
How did you know?
Taylor, what do you do right now? You're in this room with these people strapped to
Mhm.
tables. They seem only semi-lucid.
Okay, I go towards the person that seems the most lucid and try to gently pat their cheek to get them to um, consciousness somehow.
I like this. I'm gonna let you do the meddling move with composure at disadvantage because of Mark by the Dream.
Hello, let me see if I have
Also, you guys can
anything.
change the clue about the experiments to specifically being experiments on dream infected people.
Mhm. Mm, disadvantage, I don't like that. I'm checking my items. Well, I just happen to have okay, this might be ridiculous, but I just happen to have my frisbee with me. It's neon green, and it's something that they can focus on. Like everything was dark right just now,
Actually,
and
it kind of makes sense
if
because
I'm
you might have grabbed it for the dog, right? For
yeah,
DOG.
I
Yeah.
I actually wanted to use it before, but then Amber did the dog thing, so
Yeah, yeah.
very good. And I hold it up and wave it around just to
Keep them distracted. Yeah, that's good.
yeah, and to kind of wake them up.
Wake
So
them up. Yeah, and into it.
just
Okay, that'll flatten out the
regular.
roll. Yeah.
All right. Well, that's a 6.
6.
No,
We'll come.
wait. What did you say?
Composure.
Composure? No, that's a 7.
A 7. We'll come back to this in a moment. I like it though. Amber, you and Flo are sneaking into the factory. These two things you're both doing right now, both characters, this is like the last part of your day phase. We're going right into night phase after this. Flo says, so do you want my help getting inside the building or what? Or no, you're not going in the building. She's like, I could use your help getting inside the building.
Okay. Can you give me? Can you help me afterwards?
Yeah, I
To
just need you
know.
to I just need you to keep a lookout.
Fair
I
enough.
wish you I bet you wish you had a crazy multi-tool that weighs a ton right now.
She's like, just keep a lookout. I'm gonna try to get inside that door right there. It's like a
Yeah, I can do
little
that.
side door. It's gonna take her a minute to get the door open. What do you do in the meantime?
Um, I try to get a sense of the area of the compound.
Yeah, make the meddling move with composure. Still marked by the dream.
Yeah, I rolled well, fortunately. Um, that's an 11.
Nice. You're looking around and you notice that there are kind of in corners and like, kind of piled up at the corner of the building and maybe stacked up nearby in other places. There's a lot of unopened equipment and not unopened equipment. We're going to say like lots of unopened like deliveries of
Mhm.
sugar, cream, other chemicals needed to make ice cream. It's all just like stacked up, not being used. And your actual clue is coming in the form of when she finally gets inside and she kind of clicks on her flashlight to look around because the factory's it's dark, it's not open, it's not operating right now. She's like, holy shit. And if you pop your head in, you'll see
Mhm.
that all of the machinery, the giant vats, the churns, the different things you need to like make ice cream, it's all still wrapped up in plastic. None of this stuff is being used. That's your clue.
Mhm.
Meanwhile, Taylor, you got a mid result, right?
Yeah.
You get this thing's attention. And you realize now, as you're looking at it, as you're looking at the other three people, that they're all in different stages of infection. One of them clearly is more lucid and has only been recently infected. And has just like a little bit of dribble of the stuff coming out of their eye. And they're still kind of like, they're kind of out of it, but they're like, Who are you? Who are you? The one you're looking at directly right now is a little more far gone. You can see that the dream has actually started to crystallize and form growths around their eyes, around their ears, and their mouth is kind of opening and closing in a rictus, like. And the third one you see now is almost entirely covered by dream growth. It's just crusted over, and there's just a little bit of nose and mouth and eye left. And there's another one that's also pretty far gone. It seems that over time, the dream manages to get more and more like, it takes you over more physically. That's your clue. Here's your complication. There's a fifth stainless steel table in the room that has no one currently strapped to it. That's because the occupant of that table has managed to get free and is currently shuffling toward you. Here's the thing. It looks like they can't see you. Their eyes are completely covered by this crystallized white growth, and they are swaying back and forth. And every time there's a little movement, maybe a scurrying insect, they turn.
Yes.
Or if you
Okay.
accidentally bump something,
Nice.
they turn, right? What do you do?
Yeah. Excuse me? Can you
Oh,
hear me?
they rush
Sir?
toward you. They just
Shit.
go, "Ah!" And they let out this like terrible wail, and they just
Is it a loud way?
no, not really, but
Oh,
it's
very
just kind of
okay.
choked. But they are definitely rushing toward
I
you. What do you do?
I smack him with a frisbee.
Let's take a 3-minute break. We'll come back and we'll finish this.
No.
Yeah, so Taylor, this thing, it's initially like kind of swaying around, like it can't see very well. It's reacting to sound and, kind of hissing and rasping and and then you call out to it and it screeches and runs toward you. You said you were going to try to bat it away with the frisbee, which I think is great.
Yep.
And then presumably escape. This is going to be the night move, I think. What are you afraid is going to happen if you fail?
Well, I'm afraid that it's gonna harm me. It's gonna injure me,
It is worse
potentially
than
eat
that.
me,
It
or
is worse than that. It is it's going to unhinge your jaw and vomit dream into your gullet.
oh, that's disgusting.
If you wish to not get its attention and try something different, you certainly can. But otherwise, pick up dice. It's going to be with vitality, and it's going to be at disadvantage.
Yeah, okay. I mean, what's the other option? I just don't.
Oh, don't try another way. Like try to sneak out of it or something. Do something different.
Nah,
Yeah.
I'll do that. I'll smack it with a frisbee at disadvantage. Okay. That's a 9.
A 9.
Mhm.
I think
Like
that
3 and the lowest, right?
yeah, the two lowest. Yeah,
Lucky.
you are going to. I think you're going to be able to escape, but you are going to. I think it's going to basically like rake the back of your leg, and so you're going to have like
Mm.
a nasty like tear in the back of your leg. You'll still be able to get around, but you're going to be kind of limping, a little bit. I have control of the scene, so yeah, I think it's as you described it. Like it comes rushing, you just like smack it, and in your scramble to escape, and you do escape, it just slings out its like hand, which is now covered in hardened, crystallized dream that just rips into the back of your leg. You take a condition,
Mm.
scraped leg, but you.
Wouldn't it also be kind of fun if they escaped?
Oh yeah, maybe I don't know, but you definitely escape. There's no telling what happens to the creature.
Yeah.
You did.
Okay. Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
but you can definitely escape around to the front of the house if you wish. Um, we'll pick up with you in a moment. Amber, Flo is like saying in a loud whisper, like, "Holy shit, look at this!" And you see that this factory is just it's a front. It's not really in operation. Flo says she takes out like she has like a little camera, She's like, "I got to get some pictures of this." What do you do?
Uh, I keep yeah, looking around, keep watch.
She says, "Well, aren't you going to come with me?"
I mean, yeah, I can.
Come on. It's like Scooby Gang, Starsky and Hutch, you know?
I thought it might be
We're a
safer if I
team
keep.
now.
Yeah, but shouldn't I like watch out for guards or such?
No, no, no. Just come in. We'll close the door like nobody was ever here. And I don't know, that little, I can't be worried about what's happening to you out there.
All right.
She gently closes the door. She has a little flashlight. And this will definitely begin. Let's go to the dusk phase. Obviously, there's no watching a tape right now. So um, let's just basically we just continue on for a little bit.
hmm
I do want to know, Taylor, are you going to still try to go talk to Morgenstern or are you going to get out of there?
I don't think I want to talk to Morgenstern anymore, especially now that one slab is empty.
Indeed. And Amber, you don't have to, but if you wish, you can go deep into the facility with Flo.
I mean, yeah, I think might be insightful.
Very good. We'll just keep going then. Taylor, you come around to the front of the house. You have no car. You're on foot because you
That's
got
right.
dropped off. I think when you come around, you have to kind of stop because Morgenstern has come out and is in the front of the house now. He has a white gardener's apron over his black suit, and he's watering the cactus in the front.
Hmm.
What do you do?
Yeah, I duck behind a bush or whatever I can find, or maybe I just turn around and walk behind the house again.
Is the goal ultimately just to get out of here, to get away from the house?
Yeah, that's the goal.
Make the night move. What are you afraid is going to happen if you fail?
Well, I'm afraid that he's gonna discover me and realize what I've been doing
It's worse than
and
that.
see the scratches.
He's going to discover you and he's going to put two and two together that you are part of the pesky TV crew he's been hearing about. And he's going to have
Mm,
questions. This is going to be with composure. I
yeah,
think because of your leg,
lovely.
I'm gonna put you at disadvantage as well.
Uh, but I'm going slowly. Oh, oh no. Oh, this is gonna end badly. Okay. Items. How much can I have on me?
We managed to justify the
Okay,
frisbee. Who knows?
yeah. Unfortunately, the rest of the stuff doesn't make any sense. Okay, I'll do it. I'll just roll. It's a 7. No, an 8 again. What? How am I so good today? 2 night moves with 8.
You
Yeah.
are sneaking
Sneakily sneaky.
away from the property. You see someone else a little bit in the distance coming up the road to seemingly confront Morgenstern. It's dark, so you can't quite make out the details, but you do overhear a little bit of their conversation. Now you listen to me, W. Atlas Morgenstern. I'm going to get to the bottom of what you're up to up here. And this time, things are going to go a little different, unlike in 72. And you hear Morgenstern say, Oh, Chucho Churros, do you really think I'm scared of you? I defeated you once, and I shall do so again. And they're kind of having this like little argument. What do you do, Taylor?
I look around if there is a car, if this churro person
He does, yeah.
has a car.
He does. It
And
actually,
you know
it's a, it's like a really old, like it's like a really old like kind of Cadillac, and it has a giant it has like a giant fiberglass churro on top of it.
Nice. I could
And
go
it's
for some churros right
and
now.
it's the color of a churro as well. It's this sort of golden brown.
All right. Well, you know, the enemy of my enemy and such, so I kind of lean against the car and wait for this person to come back.
Very good. Amber, you can see the flashlight bouncing around, and Flo says, What does this all mean? Where's the ice cream coming from if they're not making it?
I mean, I told you about the crater. Maybe something either came or and she points like tries to be sneaky and it tries to indicate it came from above or from below. Then maybe we should go there.
She's like, Are you telling me that they're feeding people crater juice?
Yeah.
Doesn't sound as yummy as the dream,
No,
though.
it doesn't. No, it does not.
Yeah, I mean they have good marketing.
She says, This is crazy. But my employers will be very happy to hear that, well, there's probably all sorts of FDA violations going on here. And she keeps looking around a little bit, though. And she points the flashlight up and she says, Okay, look, I see some offices down there. And up there, up those stairs, there appears to be some kind of control room or something. You want to take high or low?
Low.
All right,
You can check out the control room.
good. And she says, If you get in any trouble, don't holler, just deal with it. And she goes up the stairs. She leaves you downstairs to where these offices are. What do you do?
Hmm. I wait, and doesn't seem like she comes back immediately, so I can't really pretend that I'm finished already. So I get bored and eventually check it out.
You do see some offices. You see, well, honestly, much like the factory itself, it doesn't look like it's in great use. There's a lot of
Hmm.
evidence. Indeed, let's paint the scene. Looking around the offices, how can we tell that there's not really a business being run here?
Yeah, I mean there's no real equipment. There aren't any monitors or um, computers you would expect.
And there on the coat hangers and on the tables there's still the foil that you have to peel off before you use stuff.
I love it. Nevertheless, these offices are all open and you have access to them, Amber. You can do the meddling move with reason, I would say.
Hmm. What about my conditions?
Not yet.
All right. Um, that's a 7.
Oh, you're looking around and you find something um, that feels very relevant. A stack of files. The files seem to indicate that back in the 70s, Whitespray was being used as a site of military experiments.
Mm.
You can grab those files to look at them in more detail later, but for now, you hear from up above, Flo says, Amber, get up here. Come look at this. What do you
I
do?
yeah, I do as she tells me to.
You go upstairs. Taylor, you're waiting around for a while.
Mm-hmm.
You haven't heard the voices from the argument for a minute, but after about 10 or 15 minutes, you do hear the crunch of shoes on gravel. Someone is approaching. What do you do?
Um, well, now it's a very good question. Who is actually approaching?
It's dark. I don't know.
But, well, no. Um, I I look like I try to look like I belong here, you know,
Okay.
just like a neighbor or something. I live here, I belong here. Maybe this is even my car.
Good evening. W. Atlas Morgenstern walks into the shaft of moonlight so you can see him.
Oh, good evening, sir.
Are you some sort of hitchhiker?
Not a hitchhiker, a hiker. And I saw this car, and I was wondering if you were selling churros here, because I could really go for some. It's been a long day.
The back of your pant leg is soaked with blood. Are you injured?
Yeah, well, I fell. So, but nothing a portion
Hiking
of
is
churros
very
couldn't
dangerous
fix.
activity.
But also fun, isn't it?
I am not one for getting too intimate with Mother Nature.
Oh, that's a pity. You have it so nice here.
You should come up to my house. Let me put some antibacterial ointment on that.
Oh no, thank you. I'm good. My friend is picking me up in a minute.
So
Text
this
Amber.
isn't your
SOS.
car? This
SOS.
isn't your novelty vehicle?
Oh, I wish I just saw it from over there where I was hiking in the woods, and I thought
Yes.
I would like some churros now. And I was kind of hoping that it was a sort of like a food truck, but now I see that it isn't, and I'm kind of sad and also still hungry. But since my friend is coming, we'll have time to eat, I
I
guess
would
so.
be
Thank you.
more than happy to feed you some delicious frozen
Churros.
novelties and other sweet treats.
Thank you. I'm good, really.
I'll tell you more about
I
him as you get a better look at him. He has a
Yeah.
neat gray comb over, very wild silvery blue eyes. He doesn't seem to blink ever. He has a jaw like a grouper and a smile like a barracuda. Are you sure I can't tempt you with something sweet and delicious?
How is he moving? Is he fast? Does he seem like an old man who can't walk properly?
He seems able-bodied, yeah.
Shit. I take out my cell phone. We have those, right?
You do, yeah.
Yeah, let me just check. Maybe my friend wants something too.
I fear
Call
you
Amber.
won't be able to get much of a signal up here on your mobile telephone.
Oh
I
yeah,
won't
I'll
allow them
try.
to build one of their infernal towers near my property.
Yes, yes, I understand. Very bad towers,
But
radio
I have a
waves, and such.
landline phone up in
Oh,
my house.
yeah, yeah, that's very kind. Oh no, what's that? Look, there's a person stumbling over there out from
In
your
fact,
garden, I
I
think.
think a truck is coming up the road and it stops. It's Thomasina from the smoking pole. She
Oh,
says,
look, it's my friend.
she's like, hey,
Hey, thank you for picking me up.
get on
Um,
in.
thank
Good,
you.
good to see you, Mr. Morgenstern.
Yes, thanks. I might get back to you on that, but you should really look into opening a churro food truck.
And Morgenstern waves goodbye as you pull out.
Oh,
And
Jesus fucking Christ, Thomasina, how did you know?
she's like, well, I saw Chucho coming up here in that damn churro car. Where's he at?
Shit, he's gone. I heard him fight with Morgenstern.
Wait, he's at Morgenstern's?
He's probably in Morgenstern's shed, tied up and being experimented on like the other guys in Morgenstern's
So
shed
were we
I
just
just
supposed to
saw.
leave him there or what?
Yeah, probably come back with the police, I guess.
The police.
Or with
That's a
all your
laugh.
friends, not us too, maybe.
Well, I mean,
Or maybe we could just,
Crybaby and Tits have been looking for an excuse to get up there and raise some hell with Morgenstern.
well, I mean, he's just one person,
Hmm.
but we should get an ambulance on
Where's
standby
your friend?
because the people are pretty far gone. She's checking out the crater.
Ah, she's by herself trying to find the crater.
Yeah.
And then she turns the truck around to go back up the hill to go
Okay,
collect
I'll try
Amber.
calling Amber again.
Yeah, you have no service out here.
Yeah, okay.
Amber. You get up to the control room and Flo, she she says, I'm not getting paid enough money for this. I am not getting paid enough money for this. Oh, mind you, my friends call me Flo because I am very much in favor of free cash flow, but there's not enough cash for this. And she points out the window, this this security booth with this control room, whatever it is. On the other side of it, from the way you come in, it looks down into like this wide open space, still inside the building. And there are a couple of spotlights on in this big space. And you see, stepping into the light, there is an individual who is massively bloated. Their body is stretched wide, and you can see their flesh is tearing, and it is filled with white, dribbling fluid. The person's hands and feet and face are completely covered with crystalline dream growth, and this massive, bloated bulk is lumbering forward.
Enunciate, man.
Flo looks at you and says, "What the fuck are we supposed to do about this?"
Not engage.
She leans back and inadvertently presses a big red button on the control panel. And you hear this. And you can hear doors being opened downstairs. And that thing is lumbering toward the now open doors. And Flo is rapidly trying to get the doors closed before it gets out. What do you do?
Huh. I try to help her. By turning on the light.
Okay, very good. Then,
Looking around, maybe there's like a sheet or something.
oh, like of how to
Where-
like control
Yeah,
things.
yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Let's do the night move. What do you afraid is going to happen if you fail?
I mean, that will actually get someone else's attention. Someone will notice we're up here, turning on the light, and come.
It's worse than that. Some of the security people will respond to the noise and the light and the commotion, and they will be torn apart by the creature that is now down, blocking your exit from the building.
Oh boy.
This is going to be with composure. You are. I don't think Mark by the Dream is going to actually affect this.
All right. Let's see whether I can justify using an item. Don't have that many. No, I'll just roll and maybe use a key. That's actually, let me see. You said composure.
Yeah,
That's a 12.
nice. You have control of the scene. You'll be able to safely keep that thing behind the doors, and I'll give
Yeah.
you a clue as well as a bonus. But for
Okay.
now, so be thinking about what that looks like. Taylor, you and Thomasina are in this truck. You're heading up toward the factory and presumably the crater at some point.
Mm-hmm.
When you hear a thump thump from the bed of the truck, Thomasina looks in the rearview mirror and she says, "What the frick is that?" And
Is it
you,
not DOG?
it is not DOG. You will see in the bed of the truck is that that fifth person who was strapped to the table, they managed to
Oh,
get out, and they have
great.
run and they've jumped in the truck, and it's in the back of the truck, and it is smashing its claws against the rear window.
That's
She's
what
like,
got my leg, by the way.
she's like, do something, get rid of that thing. What do you do?
Um, well, how about you step on the gas and then brake sharply, and then it will like
That's a
maybe
night
you can
move.
throw it off.
It's going to be with quick reason for quick thinking. What are you afraid is going to happen if this doesn't work?
Well, I'm afraid that it's not gonna work, and he's gonna break through the window, or maybe he even gets thrown through the window
Yeah,
and will attack us full of glass and dream.
and it's worse than that. It will kill you both. Let's go ahead
Great.
and roll with reason, and it's going to be a disadvantage because of Marked by the Dream.
Of course it is. Uh, well, okay. I mean, I still have like 3 keys or so. Uh,
And we've got the mystery key.
That's true. Yeah.
10.
Nice.
We're so good today.
I
Can't believe it.
think at this point, we'll probably wrap the night phase with essentially the four of you, Flo, Thomasina, and the two of you, kind of getting back together and just getting the hell out of there until you can regroup a little bit. I just want the scene of you and Flo's escape, and I'll give you your clue on the way out as well, Amber.
Hmm. So basically what happens is Flo is desperately trying to find the right button again, and I turn on the light, and maybe she doesn't like that because we're supposed to be like very lucky, But that way I easily find like the manual, or there's like some big, sign um what to do, what not to do exactly.
Well, I'm going to give you your
And
clue in the middle of that. Your clue is there is a button that you are meant to press that creates a particular sonic frequency that keeps
mm,
the creature at bay. And that's your clue.
perfect. And after doing that, we realize, okay, we can leave now, but we have to hurry. And yeah, we'll turn off the light, and I say, well, at least you get paid. I do this shit for free.
Nice. The two of you can escape back out the fence. There probably will be some people running to the building to kind of react to the
Mm,
machinery and stuff and the sounds, but you can get past them, go out the side door that you came in, go out the fence. You'll probably see, well, Taylor, please describe how you get rid of the you get rid of
Mhm.
the dream addict.
Uh, well, Thomasina is driving like crazy, and she's swerving left and right just to loosen the creature's grip on the car. And she drives up as close to the factory as possible, slams on the brakes. The creature crashes against the truck, falls down. Thomasina reverts the car, drives over the creature, and I open the door from the side and shout, Amber, hurry up!
Yeah, Amber, you and Flo will see this truck. You don't recognize the truck, but you certainly recognize
yeah,
Taylor.
that's my friend. Let's go over there.
And Flo, she just says again, I don't get paid enough for this shit. And, um, she'll look briefly at all the white smear on the tires of the truck, and she'll just like ugh, shiver with revulsion. You can all get inside, and Thomasina will peel away. Let's just have the scene with the two of you in the truck at the end of this.
There's disgusting creatures, dream creatures, and he's experimenting on them. It's so gross, and I almost got killed. What happened to you? Are you okay?
Oh, I thought you'd be fine.
Yes, thank you. That's I kind of recognize a pattern of you dropping me off in places where I get hurt.
Yeah, sorry about that. We discovered that it's all fake. It's probably the facility isn't really in use. And here I've met a new friend, Flo.
Florida Flo Jackson.
Hi. Do you have a band-aid?
I do not, but and she goes in and she kind of like tears off a strip of her white shirt, and she'll help bandage up your leg.
Nice. Well, thank you.
She's
Amber,
like,
I swear at some point you will need that hearse for my dead body.
as she's bandaging up your leg, she says, "My friends call me Flo, because no one knows how to stop the flow of bleeding like me." She ties up your leg.
Whatever floats your boat, lady.
Ah.
And I
Thomasina.
whispered to Taylor, she seems to be really into puns.
Very bad ones indeed.
Noted.
Yeah, the four of you are there. I think GOG is in the cab of the truck as well, so it's really the five of you. And Thomasina will drive you back down to Whitespray, and that will conclude our night phase.
Yeah, on the way out, she probably lets me off so I can get my car.
Yeah.
Cool.
And you can meet back up with Geraldine and everybody as well. Let's go to the dawn. Okay, so let's answer our dawn questions. The first two don't apply this time, but Taylor, did you share a good memory from your childhood?
I don't think so.
Did you,
Did
were
we
you,
last time?
yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, because this will reach all the way back to before Chili
Yeah,
Cook
to
Off.
No way of
whenever.
knowing.
Yeah, no idea. I would say that you were definitely vulnerable with someone, though.
Was I? Okay.
Yeah, well, like I was thinking like in the sense of like just the mere fact that you allowed yourself to be dropped off with no with no backup at Morgenstern's mansion. You were vulnerable with
that's on
Morgenstern.
Amber. She likes dropping me off in places.
Indeed. Um, Amber, do you
At
remember
least
if
this
you
time, no
Okay,
one's head got bitten off.
exactly.
Mm.
Amber, do you remember if you went out of your way to reconnect with Deep Lake?
I do not.
Did you deliver the chilling monologue about something that happened to you in the past, even in flashback?
I'm not sure when the conversation with Wayne happened, whether that was last time.
Uh,
I don't mind if not taking
I'm trying
like
to remember, was
XP for here.
Wayne was that would have been in a night phase though, right? Or would it have been the next morning?
Yeah,
There was a
right,
next
right.
morning.
You're correct. You're
Yeah,
correct.
yeah.
So
Is that,
I'd say
yeah,
no.
fantastic. And I think um that is us for today. Uh let's go to stars and wishes for our
Excuse me. Who's
session.
Wayne again?
Wayne is the guy
I
who works
forgot.
at the ranch.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, the
Rebecca
ranch guy.
Ranch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one of Amber's
Many
many.
many love triangles. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
her love pentagram at this point.
I love
um,
Octagon.
exactly. Fantastic. This is a lot of fun. I really love running the dream, especially when you get to Whitespray in the factory. It's always really fun. The grocery store is fun too, though, to be fair. But yeah, this is really good. It was fun to get back into these characters, to have a very like kind of creepy survival horror Resident Evil, Last of Us style session. That's always good fun. So yeah.
Yeah, I love the action. It was great imagining the action scenes that I could see everything pretty
Yeah,
clearly.
yeah,
And
same.
I didn't read the dream, so I was really surprised at the shed, to be honest. I like that, and I I also enjoy bad puns a lot.
Well,
Do you have
what
like a sheet of a cheat sheet of puns with flow? No,
No, well, I wish I did because they're so horrible.
you
Like
just
that,
go with the flow.
yeah, I just go with the flow. Yeah, like I was purposely like just leaning into the fact that I'm not good at thinking of puns, and so I was like, well, she's just going to be really bad at them. So,
Bad puns are the
yeah,
best puns, though.
yeah,
So, yes, and I like how Amber just goes along with everything. She's so, I don't know, she's very good at going with the flow. She's like, okay, this is a strange person I've never met. Let's just check out the factory. She might as well kill me, but whatever.
I mean, I will say in Amber's defense, I mean, Flo had the upper hand for most of that interaction. Um, yeah, it was really
Yeah,
good.
but I think Amber
Oh,
still would have
oh
gone
yeah,
with her.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a lot of fun. This is really a great mystery. I love anything zombie related, and one day I will also watch the movie. Um, the way you portrayed the NPCs was amazing. Geraldine, for example, is pretty cool, but also Morgenstern. And I'm glad we did split up because that gave us more opportunities to interact with NPCs. And as a wish for next time, I'd like to meet up again and have a vulnerable scene or nostalgic scene. And yeah, I really liked the way Taylor used the frisbee because I would have used it so differently. You know,
In this
Yeah, so I have
particular
a star
racing.
for
scene,
that. I have a star for that, the frisbee thing too. I thought it was really funny. Yeah.
Yeah, for first for investigating and then later for smacking. That was
well, it's
pretty
always
cool.
good to have a frisbee on hand.
Yeah.
Oh,
Thank you.
there's a part of me that likes like a little stinger scene of like you're all in the truck, and I'm not saying this happened, but it'd be funny if like you're all in the truck and Taylor has the frisbee and DOG's licking the dream off of the frisbee.
You know what? I was
Wow.
thinking of exactly that, actually. I just didn't get a chance to say it, but I was imagining the exact same
Yeah,
scene.
DOG's like licking the dream off of it.
Hmm.
I have a wish. I gotta. I mean, I have all the same wishes, I think. But I actually also, I really want to know what happened to the churro guy. Like,
Yeah.
you know, just like left him there at Morgenstern's, and so I'm curious if that's ever gonna be a thing. I do hope you all get to interact with Morgenstern more because he's I love playing him. He's a fun character, and you're really close to being able to resolve this. You've already got 8 clues, so this was a really productive
Hmm.
investigation session. Yeah. So, but yeah,
The
good time.
dice were on our
Yeah, the
side.
dice were very friendly. Yeah. I don't think I have anything else though. Any other stars and wishes?
I mean, we another wish is um in the next night phase to watch
The
the
last tape.
tape we've
Yeah.
got. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sounds
Tape,
good.
tape.
Tape. Awesome. All right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and stop the recording.